Hi, this is Kaizoku Uncharted. We're a couple of siblings selling the vast sea of anime. If you think this is the crew for you, set sail with us each week. I'm Jakia.
And Justin. Do I have news? Let's take a look.
Okay, alright.
I think I had found something birthday related.
Okay.
Why is this here? It's like, so far I found this countdown, like 90 days until the release of the Demon Slayer Infinity Council.
Makes sense.
Movie.
It does deserve a countdown.
I mean, but again, it's only going to be one part of it.
That's right, because there's a next movie coming out the following year.
If
it is, I'ma just binge it and call it a day.
Right. I think that's. I read somewhere there's going to be like almost every other year, so almost like 2 years in between.
I mean,
both.
That's.
It's a great show. But
it is a great show, but I don't know if it's be doing all that.
So there's a new JoJo.
Mm-hmm. I did see that. I mean, JoJo has a long stand.
It's got a fan base.
It's got a fan base. Now, have I watched JoJo? No, but I respect the franchise, and I know.
I thought you watched it when we had Force 2 and was.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been watching it in its entirety.
Oh, okay,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I respect the franchise. I'm just saying I'm not caught up to like.
I don't like that one guy in the pink outfit. It was one of the newer ones. It's kind of lame. And then I had a happy birthday to Joe Togame. I might be butchering the name, but he was that second in command at Windbreaker.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, he was great.
He was great.
We got his backstory.
We really did. It was a good backstory. He was like, taking hands with sandals on. I'm always a fan of people who do that.
He's strong. I'm a fan.
Happy birthday to him.
So, but that's all I got. That's the news. The news.
All right, the news. All right, so it's spring. We are now officially in the spring 2025 anime season. And you know what? I feel like there's some heavy hitters this spring. There's some continuations that are going on. One Piece is back, so that's always great.
This is a One Piece podcast.
This is a one thing. Yes, Justin, this is a One Piece podcast. So we're ready to always talk about One Piece. So let's get started. So what show do you want to start off with first? Or I can pick this time.
I mean, yeah, we can risk that. Let's see where you going with this.
All right, so this show was one of my picks, and you know what? I'm gonna be honest, I kind of regret it, and that's fine. Witch Watch.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say right now.
Sure.
I don't know if this is a show that I want us to keep talking about. Okay. Because currently, as it stands, this is nothing but shenanigans.
Oh yeah, shenanigans galore.
Not even the best part. And I'm just like, I'm like, they made it sound like she went to go study hard to be a witch. Sure. She's not even good. So I'm just like, this is bad. I was like, I don't know if I
think she's good. She's over jubilant.
I don't think so. Everything from when the window whole situation with the mug, I'm like, listen, I don't know about all this. I feel like it's a lot of shenanigans. Okay. I don't feel like it's worth me talking about. Now, I feel like it might get serious by episode 6. Oh. And I only say that because this show is bold enough to have 26. It's a 26er.
Really?
So that's the only reason I'm just like, maybe this will be a real back burner for me. Because I'm like, if it doesn't pick up and get some serious tones, I'm going to have to get out of here.
Sure.
So I don't have much to talk about it because I'm just like...
Now, it's interesting you use the word shenanigans.
It's shenanigans and not in the best way.
Because Aharen-san...
It's nothing but shenanigans.
I like to call them Hi-jinks, but...
Oh, that's true too. But it's different though. It's different. It's a different type of shenanigans.
That's why I was curious. So
we'll get to it.
Because of these Hi-jinks are enough that you're like, no...
It's like you gotta pick one. You gotta pick one because so Witch Watch, and I didn't even give the synopsis. That's because I was just like, I don't know if I even want to talk about this show.
Sure.
But I'll give the synopsis. So Witch Watch. Nico has finished her 6 years of witch training.
That's a lot.
And is moving back to town by herself. As a new witch, she must choose a familiar to accompany her. However, unlike the other witches, She wishes to pick a non-animal familiar. There's no better companion than Morhito, which is Moi, her childhood friend, who happens to be an ogre. He is he is extremely opposed to being her servant, but he reluctantly accepts his fate after learning that a curse would revert him into a strange cow-tiger hybrid were he to disobey a witch's order. So there's that. So I feel like you have to pick one. We have a lot of we already have a lot going on. She's a witch. She went to do this whole training thing.
Sure.
We found out there's like her mom was like, "Hey, there's a vision, there's a prophecy, like,
Right.
and you involved, like the brother, like Moy's involved." And we find out that his family comes from a lineage of ogres. I'm like, cool. So we got the whole magical thing situated.
And I liked the idea of how ogres came to be.
Absolutely.
I said, oh, interesting.
Absolutely.
Tigers, oxen.
That's what I'm talking about. Sure. So I'm like, cool. I was like, this is going to be a heavy show. Something's about to go down. Or something's happening.
Oh, the fact you thought that was the problem.
I don't, I had high hopes. And then once we saw her turn herself flat, I was like, okay, I get it. I was like, this is the tone of the show. I was like, you can't have all this. It's too much. It's too much.
Turning flat was what did it for you.
Yeah, because I was just like, I can no longer take this show seriously. Because I'm just like, there's too much going on now.
I'm a little surprised it wasn't the breaking through the window. Like him just sitting
I'm not
there.
mad at that because I'm just like, you know what? I mean, that was pretty funny because I do like the animation change.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is great. This is fantastic. So I feel like it's a back burner. I don't know if I could talk about it week by week unless it gets serious.
I would say back burner. I did like some of the Hi-jinks where he's like, you know, when they broke through the glass, he's like some kind of brave burglar. like at that point, I'm like, okay, this is what's going to happen.
Right.
You know, when he told her to have a seat, that imagery's changed. You know, I can start to tell, okay, joking matter. Because at first I was like, oh, good, witches are known in this world.
They're in the world.
That's what I thought. But then he's like, yo, you might not want to let people know you're a witch. And then she let us know how people become good witches and take it over.
Right.
So I was just like, okay, so they're not really, but they are. Like almost like lore. Yes. But yeah, like you said, you know, it was a lot of hijinks. You know, magic drawbacks.
It was just too much for me, but I'm just like, hey, it's a 26er. I feel like that's really bold. So I'm going to keep watching it. And
somebody picked it up for that many episodes.
Someone did. And so, you know, maybe it will get enough for us to talk about. But for right now, for me, it's on back burner. But animation is great. I appreciate the smooth transition.
Sure.
It's great.
All right. I'll take it.
Okay. What's next? Your pick.
Oh, boy. Let's see here. I am thinking, well, I guess talking about, should we like talk about Aharen-san? Like, I love it, but
you don't know if you can talk about it week by week?
I don't know if this is a week by week.
I feel like it's a thing, like, you know, it's an honorable mention on a weekly basis. And we can just talk, like, if there's something worth talking about, we can talk about it.
Like, unlike Witch Watch, we're waiting to see if something can bring us in to keep us watching. We know of the hijinks of Aharen-san.
Absolutely. And
we love it.
We're already pulled in. We're already committed.
Right. We love it. We're going to watch it. I just realized we have not done anime awards.
No, but we can.
Yeah, because
we can do anime awards
because you know,
for 2024.
Like, no offense to all the platforms that do anime awards.
I think you're talking about Crunchyroll, and that's fine.
And listen, we love Crunchyroll. They just happen to hire certain people, and when you talk about anime awards, it's opinion based. And unfortunately, their opinion just isn't as important or as good as ours. And they usually mess up these awards.
Okay, so yeah, we could do it.
So we'll have to do,
We'll do a 2024.
We'll have to correct this.
We'll correct it because we'll include stuff from winter because it's, you know, I think that's, We'll think about it. Yeah, we'll see. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
So we'll correct it. But I say all that to say, like, Aharen-san will always be in a hunt for a comedy, award. Because it's hilarious.
It is hilarious. Now, I mean, look, I feel like I love the show's season 2. It deserves a season 2.
Yeah.
What I appreciate is that Raito still has an overreactive imagination.
100%.
Immediately, I was like, "How did we get here?" Especially like, you know, I don't know if their homeroom teacher's gonna make it throughout the semester. You know,
I can't with that one, but yes, it's like you said, his over exaggeration. Like when we got a new class, he didn't know if some of the classmates might try to be the boss. I thought it was funny that a bookworm is who terrified him the most.
Because to like get to the top, I was like, okay, yeah. And then we got a transfer student, and then we end up finding out that she's a girl from her past who caused her to be like insecure about making friends. And it was crazy, but it was a good backstory that we needed.
I'm glad.
Yes.
That the big guy who sits in front of Aharen-san,
he realized. He was like, oh my gosh, he realized. She's like, thanks. Because at first I thought they were gonna do that each time the teacher turned around, and I was like, this is too much.
Too much hijinks.
It would be too much hijinks in a day. I was like, I cannot. But no.
Can we not blame this? This is bad teaching. You have the seating chart. You have someone that towers over this small person. She can't see the board.
Listen, I don't know what the teaching. I don't know what the layout is for the seating assignments, but it is what it is. But going to the next episode, because this is what took me out the most. Okay. It's like we have their version of Animal Crossing.
Okay.
And I was like, how did we get here? And I was like, how did it escalate so fast?
Tom Greynock?
Yeah, because at first he's like, hey, in order for you to make money, no, he said, in order to build a house, it's going to cost you $30 million. I was like, that's crazy. And I was like, for your type of house, sure. And he was like, well, how do I make money? He said, great, I'm glad you asked. Do these chores for me. And then we come, he growing cabbages and all this other stuff. And then
he
sells them to him and to Tom. And then one day,
he stumbles upon the auction.
He stumbles on, Tom is reselling his cabbages for like 200 times the amount. And then he shows up, he's like, hey, I got today's cabbages. He's like, yeah, I'll give you this much, right? And he was like, but weren't you just selling them for like 20,000? And then he cleared them out. It was the whole thing. So then their power dynamic shifted immediately.
True.
It was crazy. I was like, what's happening?
Never in a moment was I like, Tom Greynock is the worst, and then became the best.
Yes, absolutely. I was like, who is this man? And then I was like, how did our town end up becoming like a Yakuza den? And then I was like, what's with these outfits? Who are these?
Why did somebody want to kill him? Like, there were so many questions.
So many questions. I was like, when did we get a hit? And then it was wild. I was just like, what is going on? And I was like, the one is like, who ordered the hit? Because I thought it was from her town. I was like, no.
Right, so.
I was like, that would be scandalous. Because I was like, maybe it was her brother Ren who did it. Because it's like getting too popular.
Ren's town is ridiculous.
Right. But I was like, is the hit still on us? Because we don't know. We just
laugh.
We just laugh.
And then I love how the graphics changed. How his graphics were more Animal Crossing. And then by the time we got there were the Aharen's world, it was more like Cyberpunk.
That's true, like, Aharen, that family account is great. Because we ended up finding out from her that, hey, Ren's really into that game.
We also find out that just like Raito, it runs in their family apparently.
Yes,
overactive
imagination.
Because his sister was fearful of a pyramid scheme, and she's like, "But I don't have any money."
She's like, I ain't never spoken to her, and then that killed me. But it was like she came up with 3 types of pyramid schemes in that moment. One on water, one and it's all school related too.
They are taught well in this home to be very wary. But it's because of hijinks like this, I will be watching every week.
Absolutely. So that's why I'm just like...
It's just not...
It's something to talk about.
If it's... right. We'll gloss over it. Comedy hour like stuff.
Absolutely. It's great. And then lastly, I love how... because we had the school, the athlete, the festival.
Of course.
And it was
every anime has.
Yeah, but I love how like Riku trained so hard, and then Ishikawa ended up being the anchor, and it ended up being a whole thing where it was like, oh no, he broke his like foot, so who would be the new anchor now? And I was like, this is too dramatic. And then Raido's like teaching her how to run. I was like, what's going on here? I was like, this is just too much stuff, but it was great. It's great. So, you know, it all worked out. It's a good show. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right, so now we're done with the Hi-jinks.
Yes.
What direction do you want to take this?
Okay. And this is going to be an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
And that's fine. And I'm
Sure.
okay to go down with that shit.
Oh my gosh. I think I know. Go ahead. Oh my god.
It's true.
Should we do a countdown? Like 3, 2, 1, and you say it, and I say it too?
I don't know.
You might. I wanna. No, just say it. Just say it.
The beginning after the end?
Oh my gosh, this is really unpopular.
I have to, and I'm not alone. The people have also spoken.
The people have spoken?
It's ranked low, man. But look, okay.
Really?
Here's the thing. I'm gonna give a synopsis. I mean, look, I'm on the fence. I'm just saying I'm down to talk about it now.
Right.
Because there are other shows that we could talk about.
Wow. Please, read it. Read the
Okay.
synopsis.
Alright, so the beginning after the end. The story follows the strongest king in history, Gray. Although he possesses unparalleled power, wealth, and fame, there is no one who stands by his side, and he trusts no one. One day, Gray suddenly meets his death and is reincarnated as a powerless infant named Arthur in a world of magic.
Right.
Surrounded by a loving family and companions, Arthur starts to experience joy in this new life that he never knew in his previous one.
Sure.
Yeah, and then it's like, however, during the journey, his family is attacked by bandits. And
right.
I was like, that's crazy.
Can't stand bandits.
That was a lot of bandits.
It was.
It was like too many bandits.
It was.
Okay, so here's my thing. I was down with the show. Like when I first started watching it, I was like, okay, this is great. I'm into it.
Right.
You know, I was getting into it, and then we're constantly getting this trope. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm personally...
Let me hear the trope.
I'm getting bored of this trope. Where it's like we have this reincarnated person who ends up like being overpowered and advanced at like a toddler's age. It's getting on my nerves. Because like we spend too much time here. I'm just like, cool, you can be the genius that you are, but I want to see you as like adolescent. I only want to be more like an adult. I'm just like, I don't want to keep being here. I was like, I'm tired of seeing this. Okay. It was too much. And at first I was like, okay, I get it. Back and forth, you know, I think it's great because, like, he's experiencing everything he never had in his previous life.
This is the build-up.
It's the build-up. And so, and then it just, like, when it got
so you are the people.
Hold on. Okay. And, you know, and I know you can go part by part, because, like I said, I enjoyed it to an extent, but then I was just like, ooh, I don't know if I like this.
Well, that's what I want to know. What really hit it? Like, I get the trope, but what
really hit it for me was the bandit scene. Because,
the bandit scene.
Like, what happened from the bandit? Because, like, you know, they were like, hey, we don't want to send him away. And he's like, hey, we could all just go together. I said 100%. 100%. He's thinking. Yes. So the family goes. Right. As one does. And they go, and then all of a sudden, like, this horde of bandits, okay? It was like maybe 1,000 bandits. It was too many bandits. I don't know if it was 1,000 bandits. Justin, they were climbing. There were some that were It was like 150 bandits, which is still a lot of bandits. You know what? I'll compromise and say 250.
I was being generous. I was going to say probably 50 bandits.
No, man. They had bandits coming down from the cliff, from below. There are too many bandits.
There was one wandered off bandit with the magic.
There's too many bandits. Anyways, too many bandits. We were overwhelmed by bandits.
The bandit thing.
No, in the sense of...
I'm surprised it wasn't sooner. Like the kid blowing up the house.
That did make me mad.
Yeah, I feel like that was
annoying. I was like, did we reprimand him? And I was like, absolutely not. But anyways, so... The part where he gets separated, I was like, no. I was like, you built us all the way up for the first 3 episodes to have this loving family thing, and now we're killing his parents off?
Possibly.
Right.
And his like,
hey, that party's strong.
Exactly.
They used to be a party.
Absolutely.
So I think they were gonna make it.
So I don't think the father.
I think they're okay.
I think they're totally okay. I feel like the father shouldn't have told them to like separate or leave the thing because I feel like that's what really messed us up.
Maybe.
But I'm just saying we don't need to be spread out, and
Sure.
And he ends up falling off the cliff.
Right.
And I'm just like, no.
You had a problem with Sylvia?
Sylvia's a real MVP. Okay, she's a real one. But I was like, this is crazy. I was like, where is this coming from? It was just too much.
What is this thing?
Right, it was too much left field. And then we met some other person. We found out they dragons, and I was like, wait a minute. I said, what's happening? I said, this is too much. I was like, no. I was like, I feel like they didn't need to do that, and so it was just annoying. And then personally, I would have found it to be a much more better story. Mm-hmm. I would rather see how King Gray became King Gray. Just be like, that's the show. I don't need no flashbacks from here to there.
I think you're going to keep seeing it.
I know we're going to see it in flashbacks, but I'm just saying I would rather see an actual series of King Gray and how he came to be. Because there's a lot that happened there. There's a lot that happened.
Their world is very much more high-tech than this one.
Right, and this one is like, hey.
And even in this high-tech world, I was a little concerned, like, he's still overpowering people with a sword.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So I was like, that's more interesting to me. So I was like, oh, this is more exciting. I was like, more information here. But I was like, there's just too much going on. I was like, we're already separated for our family. Sure. Now we're about to be like raised in the wilderness.
You're not.
I was like, I'm not into this part.
I mean, well, we're already teleported back to them.
I mean, yeah, ish. But I'm just saying,
we don't know what.
Right.
We also have a mom where I like the aspect that healing is a rarity.
Yes.
That was intriguing.
That was very interesting. I have a comment about healing stuff on the other show.
I like the fact that we have this ninja who doesn't open up to anyone who has opened up to us.
Which is fine. No, I'm saying, like, I was with the show.
Sure.
I'm still with the show. I'm just saying I'm annoyed by certain things. I was like, okay, it derailed me. I said, okay, I was like, couldn't we just gotten to town?
Right.
That's because I was like, I didn't know if this was necessary.
Hey, now you know me. Even when reincarnated, I see a biscuit head, like right off the bat.
It was too much. There was a lot of biscuit head in this for me. I was like, yo.
That head is huge.
It really was. And I was like, what's going on with this inner voice? Is he always going to be a 40-year-old man? I said, I don't know. It was too much. I needed some consistency.
Hey, that's fair.
I just need some. I was really, when Sylvia came to me, I said, what happened?
I will just say this.
Okay.
As of now, I stand by my stance.
I'm still going to watch it.
No. I get that.
Okay.
It has been put in my notebook of the strongest shows. I'm jumping on a leap of faith that I think this will become one of the stronger shows.
Okay. I mean, listen.
So we'll see if it lives up to it. It might not.
It might, because the current episode number is unknown. So perhaps.
Now that was interesting. Now I'm okay with the direction you took a little bit, only because I thought you were just gonna keep your ongoing hatred going.
No.
And I thought you were gonna pick another show.
No. I just wanted, because I'm just like, I don't know. I'm committed to this show.
Okay.
I still have high hopes for this show.
Okay.
But I was just like, that just took me too much. I was like, what's going on here?
Okay, because I was scared for a minute. I was like, Jakia, you're taking your hate for this series too far if you would have picked a different show. So, okay.
All right, go ahead.
I was worried here.
No.
All right, now here's the correct one that should have been chosen here.
Okay.
Once Upon a Witch's Death.
Okay, so...
Do you want to hit us with a synopsis?
I'm going to hit you with a synopsis, okay? And Justin's like shaking his head,
and
which
please
is fine.
Try to bring me back, because I was caught off guard from some of it. Let's hit a synopsis.
Okay, I'm going to give you the synopsis. Hold on. On her 17th birthday, the apprentice Meg Raspberry, I like her name, learns that she only has 1 year left to live. Her teacher, the long-lived witch Faust, explains that the only way to undo the death curse is to collect tears of joy and grow the seed of life. To find them, Meg will have to leave the sheltered life she's always known and head out into the world. So there you go. So that's basically...
This is a lot.
Okay.
I got to get 1,000 tears of joy.
It's a lot at 100%. I said, yo, this is... I agree with Meg, because she was like, why didn't you tell me this 5 years ago?
She could have started.
And she was like, but would you have started? She said, no, but at least I would have like...
The option would have been there.
Absolutely. She said, she's like, I love an option. I love an option. So...
She has some tears that she says aren't even tears of joy.
So that was confusing for me. I was like, hey... Because at first I thought she had to go up to people and collect the tears. And I was like, don't do this to her. I was like, don't do this to her. But that's not what happened. The bottle magically does it.
That would have been even worse.
That would have been crazy. But I was shocked. I don't know. I was shocked how it happened because she ended up getting 2 tears. From that one sad story, I was like, that was sad.
The dad and the daughter.
Right, because at first I was like, oh my gosh, the mom really did pass. Because at first I was like, oh, maybe she sleep for real. But no.
Okay.
Because witches are known here. So I was like, maybe it's an eternal sleeping thing.
Right.
Who knows? And then I was like, oh man. I said, when he going to tell Anna? Because he never told her. And then Anna shows up. She's like, hey, I actually know that she's not coming back. And I was like...
They're both speaking the same language.
Right. I was like, this is too much. I said, she's a good kid. I said, this is going to be a wholesome show. But, I don't know. I just feel like this show is... I'm enjoying it. I like it.
Uh-huh.
I feel like there's like shenanigans and hijinks along the way.
Sure.
But I don't like how the bottle automatically collects tears and it's not because it's like, it's not having discernment. Because she goes to Faust and is like, oh my gosh, I got these 2. And she said, well, those aren't pure tears of joy. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, I didn't willingly collect these. These just showed up in the bottle. So don't be looking at me like I didn't do a good job.
Sure.
Because I'm just like, it's Faust's magic. So shouldn't her bottle be a little bit more discerning? So I don't know. So,
okay.
Challenge is accepted. We're going to do the 1,000 tears. And then, I realized, okay, this show, because now we're starting to find out what Meg's nickname is going to be. Because I feel like her nickname is going to be dealing with, or her story is surrounding death. That's what we've gotten so far already. We already got 2 stories.
We did find out about the black shrouded mist is a sign that the Reaper is near.
Right, but not everybody can see it. To me, from how
I think witches can see it.
Well, I don't know if all witches can see it. I don't know. She made it seem like not all witches can see it. I think Faust can see it because she's the eternal witch. Her magic is dealing with life and stuff.
Sure.
But I don't know if the other witch, the witch of wisdom, if she's able to see it or not.
Okay.
Because if she was, does she see it? Does Meg have that around her?
Well, I don't think it's gonna show up in the ear because when it showed up, it changes on the time. I think it's gonna be showing up close to the anywhere between 3 months to 3 days, not a year. That's a long time to have mist around.
I mean, who knows? But anyways, it was sad. The nice old lady passed. She got to see her family
sitting up
on a bench. And at first, I thought, oh my gosh, her life tied to the tree because she was making the connections to the tree. And I was like, is the tree gonna wilt all of a sudden? But no, I said, wait, her family is still here, and she done passed peacefully and didn't say nothing to nobody. So I don't know. So I'm enjoying the show. I don't know how we're going to collect 1,000 tears. I don't feel as hopeful. I think Meg needs to be okay with that vision.
Is this going to be a wholesome show still?
I feel like it's going to be a wholesome show because the whole point is that they're collecting tears of joy. And it's I don't know, some joyous moments. So
it sounds like she's going to die.
I mean, from that vision, yeah, it happens really quick.
Okay.
She was like, is that me? She said, yeah.
Because it's been 1 week. She only had 3 tears. Then she spent those several days with the old lady.
Yeah.
Almost another week.
I don't know. Look, who knows? Maybe there'll be a huge thing happening with the gate closing.
Are you a fan of Fine? I'm kind of not. But
why? Why aren't you a fan of Phoenix?
It's trash day?
Yes, it is trash day, yes. And recycling is late because technically they're supposed to be here earlier.
Is it already out
My stuff is on my side of the street. It's done.
Oh,
But then
okay.
to the other side of the street, Justin.
I was like, I didn't realize that.
No.
I don't know.
Why you don't like her? You don't trust her? They've been friends for such a long time.
I don't like the fact how she shoots down these friendly advances that
the marriage proposal.
Yeah,
that was funny. She was like, "Oh my gosh, we should get married." She said, "I don't think so." I don't hate her for it.
They're happening too quick, especially since we're about to die. Like this is happening a little bit too quick.
I mean, what do you want her to do? Say yes and they move from there?
I'm also a little confused about. We had a whole, I don't know what to call a whole episode, a good partial episode
Okay.
about a broken watch. Like, we could have been getting some tears. Like, this
hey, 100%. 100%. But we're learning that there are fairies and things. It's important to the story.
It sounds like this guy has more of a story than we know, the watch fixer.
Yes.
Whenever you get a scene where you see the person where his hair covers only one of the eye, I'm like, it's something here.
There's something here. So, we'll find out sooner rather than later. I mean, look, I'm committed to the show.
How do you like the fact she doesn't like Sophie?
It makes sense. I'm not a fan of Sophie either. Because I'm just like...
Sophie hasn't done anything.
She just sitting in her house in the middle of
She was invited.
I don't know.
By the owner of the house.
I don't know. I don't appreciate how she was also sitting on the couch in the darkness. I was like, what is this about?
She didn't want to impose and turn on the light. It was too early in the morning.
No, I don't think so. What do you think about Carbuncle? Her familiar?
Is that her familiar? She also has that owl.
I felt bad for that owl because...
I don't know what's her familiar.
It's the owl and Carbuncle.
Because the episode started off with her having almost like 5-6 of familiars walking around doing stuff.
I think that's Faust. Because
she also needs to... at the end of the day, she's got a future job waiting for her.
Yes.
With your wisdom.
I felt bad because she just will not let up on her feet. That was rough.
They bad.
Okay. But anyways, I like the show. I feel like it's gonna be pretty good.
I feel like we're gonna be watching this just to see someone die, which is a different take on stuff.
It is a different take, yes.
All right.
But yeah. All right. So once upon a drink. All right. So
Listen,
I'm trying to build it up, man.
We'll stick with the brilliant healers and like in the shadow.
Okay. All right.
What do you feel? You got a synopsis for Xenos?
I do have a synopsis for him. All right. So life hasn't been kind to Xenos. He was born in the slums, and his dirt-poor background has denied him almost every opportunity. After an encounter with a healer, he throws himself into studying to become one and finally catches a break when an adventurer invites Xenos into his party. He's thrilled that he's willing to put up with his teammates treating him like garbage. They fail to appreciate his talents and ultimately kick him out of the party, claiming that he's outlived his usefulness to them. So now Xenos decides to put his self-taught skills to use elsewhere and opens up an underground clinic. All right. So this show. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this show.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a fan of the show.
It's also in the book with the best shows of the season.
I feel
like
it's
gonna be there.
Right. I feel like there's like a harem thing that's happening, but it's enough for me to tolerate to keep it pushing, which is fine. I can
see it formulating.
Right, and I'm just like, this is a little annoying. I just need to keep moving with the story because
it'll derail you and make you not pleasant about it.
Right, and I'm just like, I don't want to see this because I feel like over the past couple of years, we've been getting really good shows that have been focusing on healers. And
good healers.
Right, and so I feel like this show actually, like you said, this is up there to be a good healer show because we're coming to find out his skills of how he's able to do like surgeries and all this other stuff that I haven't seen with other healers. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like the fact that he was using his mana as a scalpel.
Right.
That's what I mean. And the fact that he's able to rebuild like
I feel like, but doesn't this fall along the terms of OP talent?
Well, no, but he's not reincarnated.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm tired of these reincarnated shows.
Just the reincarnated.
Yes, because I'm like, this is different because he doesn't think he's under the impression that can't all healers do this? So he doesn't think that he's like the gift to humanity.
I just thought about this now, and unfortunately, it does take another shot at your selection.
That's fine.
But wow, you should have did this right before Country Bumpkin because they both think the same.
They do. It's okay.
Like,
It's fine.
It's
fine.
There's a lot of people I can't stand in this show.
Yes. That's why I'm just like, I like this show, but there are people that I can't stand.
We didn't get a name, but that aristocrat.
Oh, he was awful.
He's trash.
Put him in the book. I mean, but I don't think we'll ever see him again.
I don't know. He walked off and said, "This ain't worth it." Almost implying he's doing the bidding of someone else higher. So I think we're going to run into this person again.
I just don't know.
I do hope that we find what's her name here? Teal. I hope we run into Teal again.
Yeah, because she's like gonna gonna turn her life around.
She's ready to live her life. I like the fact she didn't just immediately say, she thought about it and she said, you know what? I'm gonna live my life.
That's right.
Try to figure it out, and then I'm gonna come tell you about it.
Right. Just like, I'll see you later. Not a problem. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna start it from the beginning. The one thing that I liked about Xenos is we kept getting that. I want to call it a mantra. A healer is a third-rate healer if they just heal injuries.
Yes.
A second-rate healer if they can wholly heal a person.
Yep.
First-rate if they can make a world a better place. And I was like, man, that's a pretty outlandish achievement you got to reach to become a first-rate healer.
Yes.
But, yeah, we go ahead right off the back. We meet Lily. She's the person with us, I guess.
I like Lily. She means business. She's holding down the clinic, okay? She doesn't have time for any of the shenanigans.
I don't know if she's holding down the clinic, but I know Carmela is holding down the clinic.
Well, it's her house.
Correct. So that's who I know is holding it down.
Okay.
We also go ahead and meet Zofia, Ligna, and Lau. And
I thought it was just Low, but that's great too.
Oh, it could be Low.
I think it's Low.
There you go. So, we meet the three heads of the
demi-human factions.
The underworld.
Right.
The people who run the slums.
Right.
But, they're cool. I got no problem with that. Once again, we have a world where slavery is a thing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, I'm not. But, I like the fact that, and this kind of go back and forth because he now knows his value, mm-hmm. but at first he didn't know his value.
Which made me so mad. Well,
I'm so angry about it.
He learned his value after
he ran up to Lily.
Well, no, I didn't think that worked my nerves was like that chump from the other party.
Oh, his severance pay?
He was like, here. He said, what's this? He was like, he said, oh, you probably never seen this before. I'm like, what? Money? I said, no, he's seen money before. Okay, he was
maybe he hasn't.
Well, no, I think he was more like, what, as in, like, why are you giving me this?
No, well, yes, that's what it was.
But Ash is like, you ain't never seen money before? I'm like, have you not been giving him money this whole time?
No, right. Well, he said, ever seen this much money before? That makes me think similar to, I left my A-Rate party, they might have been shortchanging him because he's the healer. And unfortunately, we're going to see that clan again, Golden Phoenix.
Unfortunately.
I'm hoping we treat them accordingly.
I think we will. I really think we will.
I hope so because
I'm not worried about it.
When that aristocrat wanted to get healed, he was like, "Sorry, I'm off the clock," and he was like,
"I was like 100%."
He was like, "What's gonna cost you extra?" And he threw him a bag of gold, and I was like, "Wow, we already made tons of what that severance pay was."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Do you think this is enough?" He was like, "But that's market value." He was like, he's basically letting him know, like,
I'm not a market healer. You know, he said, I ain't got a license. I'm an underground healer. So, you know, it's similar to grave robbing. Oh, I mean farming.
Yeah, he was like, oh, we just farming. He said, here? That's impossible.
So, you know, but Golden Phoenix, all of them are trash. They can go in the book, giving him hush money because he said, we don't want people to know some person in the slums was a part of Golden Phoenix. And I would have been like, you better give me about 50 of them gold pieces to hush me up. You know, but, he didn't want to see that money. That's when we saw Lily getting assaulted in the alley.
It was terrible.
We paid for her because they thought she was dead, basically. They were like, he ain't going to be able to heal her. So we'll take that gold coin. Oh, I did like the humor here because he had healed her and she was like, it's too late for me. I'm done. I don't even feel the pain anymore. It's like, yeah, that's because I already healed you. So you can talk normal now.
That's true.
I'm like, yes, let her know.
Right.
But yeah, we eventually decide to open a clinic. We meet Carmela, the Queen of Specters. Mm-hmm. We make out a deal. She gonna stay on the second floor. We got the first floor. I was like, makes sense.
I was like, do we ever go upstairs? I don't know.
You don't need to. Tell you that much. And then, the third, it's about to pick up. Third episode, all three of the factions, they decide they're going to fight over him.
Yeah.
And he kept healing everybody.
He showed up. He's like, no, I'm not here to stop nothing.
So I'm just going to heal whoever wounded. And you is going to be charged. So he was just healing everybody. And they were fighting for hours. And then we come to find the Royal Order. They're trash. They
are.
Can go in the book. They
really
are aware
of the whole situation. They're just like, hey, the slums need to do this because this is like it keeps everything together. So they're like, you need to go down there and find out why they're not fighting no more.
Why ain't they killing each other?
I was like, that's terrible.
Yeah, so they're trash. And
yeah,
I can already tell. I don't know if I'm going to be a fan of Iron Rose or not, but she pulled that gun on us.
Too quickly.
Pretty quick.
Too quickly.
And I'm like, why? Do you think we're enslaving Lily, who's an elf? Does she have elven ties? Why did you pull that gun on us quick after you saw Lily?
It happened so fast.
It was really quick.
It was too quick for me.
We'll see.
But
yeah, I like the show.
Mm-hmm. It's a good show. All right. Your pick.
Okay. Okay. How you pronounce this? Tio Ghana?
Yeah, something like that. Teogonia?
Okay.
Yeah,
like that.
I think it's Teogonia.
I'm thinking that's going to be the direction I take here.
All right, so Teogonia, in the harsh region known as the Borderlands, humans must fight an endless battle against demi-human creatures that come at them relentlessly, intent on taking their land and their gods. A young boy named Kai, fighting to defend his village, sustains a life-threatening injury that causes him to regain memories from a past life. If you're not a guardian bearer, it's like you're playing life on hard mode. Kai's newfound knowledge gives him a new sense of the unfair rules set that governs the world around him. So there we go.
At first, I wanted to say that these higher ups in this village are trash.
Right, I did.
Because
I was like, why they got this kid out here?
Well, he has to be to earn his keep.
Yeah, we come to find out later, which makes them trash.
But no, what made them trash to me is that they defend the village. essentially these people are heart eaters. So they consume God stones, which is essentially the heart. It looks like. But what makes them the worst to me is instead of you taking all these God stones to the higher ups, the people with God guardian bearers, how about you let everybody have some, and then so that way it isn't the strong getting stronger, make everyone strong. And then you can go ahead, your front troops would be strong. Sometimes you guys wouldn't even have to be involved. It would be making your front line better.
And they technically weren't even involved. Only one of the Guardian Bears was involved. So I was just like, yeah. So I also agree. I thought that was, so I was like, wait. I was like, does everything in this world have a God stone? And then we come to find out, yes.
Right.
But, yeah, that didn't make any sense to me. I'm just like, if you have these people out on the front lines and they're dying to these things, so shouldn't you make it so that they're not just having like a spoonful of something?
Right.
And just, I was like, because there was a lot in that cart. So I was like,
yeah, they're cleaning up.
They were cleaning up. I was like, it's not, I was like, everybody could be stronger. It's not like they're all going to get this, become guardian bearers overnight. Like, that's not what's happening.
And even it's because of this, I started to think, is there some type of secret behind this village?
I was like, there's a lot of info that was already coming out. I was like, there's a lot that's happening.
So, yeah. And then we find out, is he reincarnated?
He's reincarnated. So I was like, oh, great. He's reincarnated. I was so annoyed. I was like, okay.
And we're sure he's reincarnated?
Yes, Justin. He's totally reincarnated. Because he was talking about some, man, I want some onigiri. And he was like, what is that? He said, I don't know. It's this thing with rice. He said, what's rice? I don't know.
Eggs in a rice ball. And but that's the thing. He gets memories. Or recently he's been getting memories or saying stuff that's nonsense. What if he isn't reincarnated?
I think he's reincarnated.
But he travels across both worlds.
I don't think so. Justin, I think you're giving him too much credit. This kid's reincarnated.
Okay, got it.
I think he's reincarnated, and I think he's always known that...
But he don't know nothing.
What I know, what I do know is that he don't know how to keep nothing to himself. Like, he's asking too many questions, saying too many things out loud that he shouldn't be saying out loud. Because he was like, I shouldn't say... He said, I shouldn't let people know about this.
Right.
And then we're in this cave that's Echo Central, and he's with about 10 other people, and he's just reading it out, and I'm just like, you dingus, of course
they didn't realize it.
I don't know.
What I didn't care for is he keep doing this training in this one part of the village. Go take your butt in the forest.
I mean, actually, not even that. He keeps trying to play with fire where there's nothing but greenery. I was like, you're going to catch this whole village on fire, and then you're truly going to have no place to stay.
So you're mad at him for being a potential arsonist.
I'm mad at him for being, not good at what he does.
Speaking of fire, he does eventually learn to produce fire magic.
Yes.
When he is attacking an ogre when he has been wounded.
Yeah.
And it looked like that ogre was about to drop him off the cliff, is what it was looking like.
It happened.
He struggled and they both went. But it was like, it was almost like he couldn't really see. It's like the ogre realized he couldn't defeat him or something because he was taking him, and I'm like, oh my god, you're gonna drop him off the cliff? Like, that's one way to get rid of him, I guess. But the whole time I was like, yo, he better eat that godstone.
Well, he did. He didn't even hesitate because, he had an intense wound. He said, well, if I'm on my way out, I might as well have a whole one. And I was like, 100%.
Yeah, I said, good, he ate it.
I was like, he totally ate it.
We saw some ruins.
Yeah.
Didn't know what the language was. And then I just figured...
And he is a little arsonist because the first thing he thought was, there are vines covering this.
Clear it away. Clear the path.
I was like, this is a tree. You're just going to burn the tree. And he was like, man, it shouldn't have been that powerful. I was like, this kid's a problem.
I like that all these rumors are swarming.
I was like, this town is nothing but a rumor mill. Okay?
Tons of gossip.
Nothing but gossip.
I'm glad he didn't say. I'm glad he just. And I think he took it too far, saying he ate a few godstones.
I know he shouldn't have lied.
Just say you ate one, and that got you on your feet. You momentarily feel strong. Now people just think you're out here eating several of them. Other than that, we get caught by Lady what's his name? Jose. She catches us using fire. I was like, yeah, that's what happens
when you in the middle of town,
right? And they were gossiping again. He was like, "Is it true we only on this escort mission because she asked for you?"
And then Witch was like, "No, she doesn't know him." And I was like, 100%, 100%.
But at the end of the episode, she caught a glimpse of Kai with a divine crest,
right?
Which is intriguing.
Well, it's intriguing, but I will also, going back to the higher ups of the village, I think they're trash. This is another reason 100%. Why. Because they know that Lady Jose is a guardian bearer, right? And so we come to find out in the last escort mission that she's responsible for that one village or that town. And the only way for that town to like thrive and stuff is for that person to be strong. But I'm just like, they're purposefully making it so that she's not strong. So I'm just like, do they do it so that the people who lived in that town moved to their main village?
I think you're reading too much into this.
I don't think so.
It's their daughter.
Yeah.
They have old customs where the women they feel the women don't need to fight.
And that I understand, but I'm just saying like she doesn't have to, but I'm just like the fact that like she should still be training, but he doesn't even want her 100%. Training. So that's the thing. Because, like, the father wasn't out on the battlefield. He was just training in the courtyard. Yeah. And that's it. So I'm just like, she could still get strong.
That just shows his level of complacency. Mm-hmm. You know, he's just, I'm going to be here training. He's clearly eating all these godstones. You know, it's almost like, hey, how about y'all go ahead? Because they might just be thinking, once we conquer X amount of land, because she's like, I'm going to eventually come and rebuild this town. Why don't you station a post out there?
Yeah.
Get rebuilding it now, making her stronger also.
But they use the word, so that's what I mean. I'm like, I think it's dumb. I think it's trash because I'm like, if they didn't care about having that post,
right?
Then why do they still have her go out there to like tend to it? So I'm just like, so just make her be strong and train her inside. Like, I just don't understand. So I was like, this is just inefficient. Right. I just feel like they're inefficient with what they have.
Sure. And
so I'm just like, now I just wonder what land does the brother have?
Right.
That because he gets to do whatever he wants, apparently. He's eating all the god stuff.
He's eating all the god stuff.
Like, he's just doing whatever he wants. But yeah, so I'm committed to see what keeps happening.
The intro's going on there a bit.
Just a little bit. But I'm just like, we'll see what happens. I just hope that Lady Jose and Kai don't become like really annoying, but I feel like there's a tipping point.
Oh.
For me. But that's just I'm still committed.
Annoying like an item?
No, just them being themselves. Like right now, as they stand, it's a little annoying, but it's okay.
Got it.
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay, it's my pick. From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman.
Okay.
All right. So Beryl, what a name. A self-proclaimed humbled old man is a sword instructor at his dojo in a rural backwater village. It's important for backwater. In his younger years, he dreamed of glory as a master swordsman, but those days are long behind him. Out of the blue, he receives a visit from a famous former pupil who brings him world-shattering news to be appointed as a special instructor for the Knight of the Liberian Order. With his life now turned upside down, he travels to the capital and reunites with some of his former students, an elite knight, ace wizard, and even an adventurer who's attained the highest guild rank possible. So there we go. I'm going to stop there so it doesn't take all of the show. But I'm enjoying the show.
Yeah.
I think it's a good show. He has good pupils. They're good at what they do. They're strong people.
I don't know how much notes there could be. His parents really want grandkids.
Yeah, but then, I don't know, because now I feel like it was a ruse, because, like, he sent us away, the father sent us away.
3 episodes later.
3 episodes later, absolutely, because he knew Beryl was meant for much greater things, because he's like, he needs to be out of this backwater town. And I was like, man, I didn't think it was that bad of a town, but everyone's like, it's backwater. I feel like they are trying to create, like, a harem situation in this one, unfortunately. I'm just like, I would like us to focus on some of his male students that he's had, because I know he's had them. I've seen the flashbacks.
I mean, well, we've seen the male student, Randrid.
I'm talking about like that's in the Capitol with us on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, it seems like that vice commander, the vice captain, is finally falling in line.
I mean, absolutely, because I thought he was really rude, but he admitted it. He was like, I was rude, like I didn't know, and I was like, how are y'all all being defeated by this move? I don't know, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm committed to the show. I need to see what happens next. I'm excited for Beryl and what's gonna, and what
I feel like these 3 episodes, I almost feel like needs to be a 4th, because there seemed to have been one more female student on the intro that I didn't see.
Because we got 2 knights.
Right. We
got the wizard. That one, the leader of the wizard situation, she's I don't know if I like her. No, she's a hazard to people. I was like, why would you have this battle in town? Instead of town like this?
She knows.
I don't know.
She said this was a clear area.
I suppose. So no, then we have the student, we have the wizard, and then we have the adventurer. I feel like that's all 4, right?
Oh, but there's like a 5th girl. She also has like silver hair.
Does she?
She's like, it's like silver-ish but dark.
I don't know. I'm not seeing her in the thing. Okay, maybe I'll rewatch. I'll rewatch intro.
Yeah. Well, I think I seen him on the outro, the credits.
Maybe that's it. Okay. You sure it's not the same character?
No, I know where you're going with this. This is not a Lucia.
Okay, because I was like, you sure?
But yes, these 3 episodes were good and basically letting us know out of his students, we have a Lucia who is the captain of the knights.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kuruni, who is become a strong knight.
Mm-hmm.
We have the ex-adventurer male Randrid, who's come back to the backwater village to settle down now that he has a child. And since we taught him the teachings, he'll be able to take over the dojo. He was once a platinum rank adventurer.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, big stuff. We have Serena. Serena.
Yeah, Serena. Yeah, you're right.
Which I thought was really cool.
She's
a black plate.
Yes.
They've never done that before.
I haven't
and
seen
I was
it.
like, that's awesome, actually.
I liked it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we have her.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Feast, who is a wizard who uses sword magic.
Which I'm like, all a fan.
I was like, all makes sense.
Yes.
So,
because he was like, oh man, it's a shame she no longer practices the way of the sword. Right. And then she immediately pulls out the sword. Yeah. I thought it was funny with Megan, because he was like,
I'm a Megan fan.
Me too.
Beryl's a Megan fan.
He's like, yes, Megan, let them know that I need not be here.
He said, you're almost there, Megan. Like,
he said,
like,
keep it up.
Bring it home. We almost got out of this.
Almost. It didn't work out.
What was with that bear attack? So we were, that thing was huge.
Yeah.
So we found out Serena's backstory.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I mean, how did you not see this huge bear on the pathway?
Who knows?
To begin with, but
there are a lot of sad stories.
It was sad at the end. So after we see her backstory, her mom pushes her off the cliff so that she can live.
A lot of cliffs this season.
A lot of cliffs. And kids surviving.
Yes, from these some intense heights. Okay.
What I didn't quite understand, and which is good for them.
Yeah.
Beryl's parents didn't look like they aged at all.
At all, 100%.
From Serena to now, 20 years later.
Same, 100%. I also thought it was hilarious how like Beryl's dad was like, "Yeah, he can stay here." He said, "But wait, this is my house." Like, I'm so confused.
He kicked him out of his own home,
and he left. I was like, "Wow, this is wild."
But yes, that was a good duel between Serena and Beryl. But yes, Megan was not having it. After we proved ourselves, I was like, what a way to end an episode.
Yes.
We had 3 students, early adventurers, clear a dungeon.
Yeah.
And as we come out, this thing, like, I thought it yanked them up.
I was like, oh no.
But I guess it just sent them
He
flying.
said, "Wait, come back." It was like, it's too late. Yeah, that was wild. They're just like, that's why there weren't any,
as many monsters
in the
as it should
dungeon.
have been. Right. I was like, yo, this is some wild stuff. But I like my country bumpkin.
Yeah, I want to see some flashbacks of Beryl's dad, because Beryl admitted that he has yet to be able to defeat his father.
But we have to also realize he don't realize nothing, because he still think he ain't that impressive.
That's true.
He ain't that strong. He probably already in the beat his dad. He thought it was a fluke, and that's why the dad's like, yo, he got to get out of here. like that one flashback, he was like, I tried adventuring once, and the monsters beat the pulp out of me.
Never did again.
I wouldn't be surprised at a young age he went to go like the hardest ranked dungeon there is or something.
That's a true
statement. So it's probably something ridiculous like that.
All right, cool. All right, let's go into Windbreaker Season 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
What other show is there?
It could be. Are you putting I Left My A-Rank Party in the second tier with
Apothecary Diaries? I was gonna put it before Apothecary. Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was like, it's continuing from before, so I was like, yeah.
I mean, technically Windbreaker. Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah. Because I was like, it just happened. Like this, it's still continuing. So that's what I was like.
That's fair.
But yeah, Windbreaker. All right, so Windbreaker Season 2.
I can't stand
Nire. Yeah, put him in the book. I was so annoyed with him. And also, this is my other pet peeve. And it's not about him. I'm so mad because, like, the way that they ended the first season, it made it seem like we were going to truly meet the upperclassmen. Like, his main core of people.
Okay.
And I didn't get that.
No, we were introduced to them.
No, we weren't given, like, a breakdown of, like, the people. Like, we didn't. We did not get that. I was waiting to see the whole lineup, like, all the people.
No.
And we didn't get it.
I wasn't planning on that.
I was hoping on it, so I was very.
We became a class representative. We had to bring our left and right hands, and we went up top with tons of other left and right hands.
Yeah, but I wanted to meet the main people. I didn't get names. I didn't get any.
So you get to meet them when we haven't surpassed the second year.
I mean, that's fine too. But I'm just like, they shouldn't have made us all line up if we weren't going to do like a mini deep dive of these people. No. I was like, who are these people?
It set the stage.
I don't know. It worked my nerves. I was like, it's whatever. But yes, going back to Nire, can't stand him. I was like, why is he here?
I don't even know why is he in this school.
100%. I was like, I'm confused why he's here. Why would we even bring him to a brawl? I was like, dude.
I'm glad he said it. He mentioned it. First of all, he had no right to be at that last brawl.
He said it. It's true. So that's another reason why I can't be too mad at him, because he was like, wait a minute. Because he thought, this would be my moment to like.
No,
I don't know how.
Because he said I shouldn't have thought I'd be able to get by again. Like that's.
It's
right.
true.
Now
it's true.
I'm also shocked.
I thought he was actually die there.
Well, yes.
I was like, when he was on the ground, laid out, I said, is this gonna be the moment?
These people use planks and bats
and pipes. Okay, I saw that one kid with a pipe. I said, what's going on? I said keel, because I was like, oh my gosh, because they be making people keel over. I said, this is crazy.
They're dangerous.
I don't even know if they're dangerous. But the way that ended, though, it's crazy.
Oh, well, the ending was sick, but no.
Yes,
listen.
Okay, all right. I'm not trying to jump.
This is why Rhino's sister feared pyramid schemes. This, Kel is like a physical pyramid scheme.
I know. Do you think he set up the fight?
Who?
The leader of Keel. Like when we got the background of Nagato. And how like that kid, how he saved that kid and jumped down, and then how he.
No.
Okay, good. I was like, he's not that smart. I was like, not that pyramid scheme. Okay, got it. Go ahead. Yes.
He went ahead, saved this weak kid, invited him, and then now we know it was like all foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Because when Furin walked up on this place, the doors was locked. They were chained up, and now we find out
once you enter,
You cannot
you can't
leave.
And like, it was like mid-sentence. Like, this one kid wanted to leave. They was beating him up. And he was like, you're not going to let him. And then he got hit. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is abuse. Like, just get out of here.
But he couldn't, because he closed the door slowly. And he was like, you're perfect. He said, you're the perfect person to control. I said, oh my gosh, this kid is something else.
Yeah, that guy is messed up in head. Shingo.
I would put him in the book, but I don't even think we're going to ever see him again.
We might, but I won't
so.
put him in the book for, I don't hate him. And I do not stand him.
Really?
Like, this is who he was.
That's true. That's who he's always been.
If anything, one thing that I like about Windbreaker, they're really good about the cool down episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like episode 3, it's like the end, the resolution of the matter.
That was why those kids were still laid out. I said they need to go to a hospital.
Oh yes, they need help.
That was literally my question. I was like,
you mean at the end when that guy showed up?
Yeah, I was like, I could tell by his shoes. I said, this man is a bad news.
Oh my God, for the shoes?
Justin. Who you know?
I could tell from his frame. It was very unproportionate.
I'm just saying, once they did the close up of those shoes, I said, this kid is bad news.
I'm not going to lie to you. I need to go and look at these shoes.
Look at these.
I was not paying attention to
No, those shoes are giving, what's the other fighting show? Tokyo Revengers.
Okay.
But Tokyo Revengers when they're older and they're like running the town and they got shoes like that. He got shoes like that. I said, I don't know about this.
Got it.
I was like, I don't know about this.
Pay attention to the shoes.
You got to.
Now, here's my concern.
Okay.
Is I need to find out. Well, before we get there, let me start to set the stage a little bit. So we go ahead. We go into Kale's hideout. The only information we have on Kale is that there's supposed to be a small faction.
But there's a lot of them.
Right. So all the first years, we go to Kale to help our classmate Anzai. And as we get there, this is not a small faction. This is more like a little army. This is ridiculous. And all the first years at Furin are down for it, including the no-names. Like, I'm seeing Knuckles Crunch.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. It is their... Because at first I was like, this isn't our class. I was like, he's the grade. That's all the first years.
I think most of those people were just in our class.
Okay.
I also don't think it's that big of a school.
No.
So
I have yet to see any teacher.
I know teachers are a big thing for you.
I'm like, if it's taking place at a school, Justin, I need to see principals. I need to see teachers.
They clearly are running things. So the fact that even somebody, like, we were getting the names of some of the no names, I was like, yo, they not no names no more. So I was like, yo, I'm all for it. So eventually, as the numbers were catching up to us because Kale sent down the VIPs, and then that's when Kaji, the second year, show up. Kaji, Inomoto, and Kusumi.
Yep.
And just with those 3, it's like, okay,
that's all we needed.
That's all that is going down, and like they took Neri outside, and part of me was like, oh my God. Is he about to get kidnapped? Like
I immediately saying, I was like, we don't need another thing. I said, we really don't need another thing with him.
Kaji ends up fighting the leader of Kale, even though Sakura wanted to fight him.
I thought that was good though, because Kaji put him in his place. He was like, he said, what can you do? You obviously you can't even handle the people that's here. You can't even handle this no name. And I was like, good. Someone finally let him know. He checked him. I thought that was great.
Well, I mean, we kind of find out the reason why he couldn't handle his business is he's used to being a lone wolf. And he actually cares for people. That was the same thing that the king of the school had went through. So it's like, all right, cool. Now, after all that, after we beat everyone up, we get on out of here. Mm-hmm. We see that this random dude, it was like Kale was an experiment.
Yes.
He put it together
quickly. He
said, thanks for passing the time or something. Am I so supposed to believe his name is Frank, or is the group named Frank?
I think the group is named Frank, and I was like, oh my gosh, who's Frank? And here's my other issue. This is the other thing. How far did he travel? Because I was like, is this all just one city and we just in different boroughs? Because I can't handle
That's what it comes off.
I was just like, how big is this town? I just can't.
Because now that's the other thing.
Yeah.
He made it very clear. He said, well, it was only first years.
Mm-hmm.
And he said this gives him the opportunity he needs. So now they have a reason to go after Bo Fury.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so there's been a plan here. I'm really hoping his name is Frank.
I'll be happy if his name is Frank, and I'll be happy if the group's name is Frank.
If the group's name is Frank, I'm really concerned.
Look, somebody's name better be Frank. That's all I need. If not, why is it on them?
Hopefully, here's a third option.
Okay.
What if it's an abbreviation?
It's not. I didn't see no dots in between.
No, it's one that they do because it's supposed to be for like Frankenstein.
I don't
Their
think
group
so.
is monsters.
No.
Like it's got to be something. Because I don't want.
Let it go, man. His name is Frank. It's just what's going on. I just want to give an honorable mention out to Tyga because he was throwing down in those flip flops.
Okay.
And I was just like, how has the strap not broken? But that was pretty good.
I like what Kiryu was doing. You know, even some Shugeshita.
Oh yeah.
You know, they were out here.
People did a good job. They did a good job. I mean, I was confused for a while. Like, why are we here? Who's Anzai? Who's Nagato? Why do we care?
I mean, we met them at the very end of the episode of the season 1.
Well, I know, but I was still just like, enough for us to get involved like this? I don't know. I said, who are these people? Sure. And then my biggest thing is like, don't we all need to go to a doctor or a hospital? Because these are some intense injuries.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It was just a thought. It was a thought that came to mind. So it was a concern. Anyways, yeah. All right, next. My hero, Vigilante.
Vigilante, sure.
Okay, so let me just read the synopsis. Okay. I mean, I feel like it's basically just like I'm not going to do an abbreviated. Living in a superhuman society, it is hard to feel special, even more so when the spotlight only shines on professional heroes, those legally authorized to use their special powers known as quirks in public for the greater good. Koichi grew up aspiring to be a hero, but with a mediocre quirk like sliding that ties him to the ground, he soon came to the conclusion that he could only ever admire them from below. Despite this, he finds contentment in using his quirk to carry out day-to-day good deeds, such as returning lost items and helping the elderly cross the street. However, his life takes a swing into the turbulent when he is rescued from a back alley brawl by a vigilante, aka a legal hero known as Knuckle Duster. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there because I feel like it's gonna go even further.
Okay.
But, or like go ruin it. But I like this show a
lot. Wow.
I like this show a lot because I wasn't sure what was going to happen.
Wow.
I like this show a lot because this ties back to one of my biggest issues that I had with, that I talked to you and Janae both about with the My Hero Society.
Sure.
About how, like, this is what you get when you keep putting these heroes up on this pedestal and villains, and now we're getting the third angle, which is like, hey, there are people who aren't heroes, professional heroes, or villains.
They're living their lives.
But they also understand, like, yo, this is a dangerous world. Sure. So we also have to take things in our own hands. Sure. Okay. And I appreciate that we're seeing recurring characters from the main series, because this is like a couple of years before, My Hero Academia. So I thought this was great. And so, the intro was hitting. I was like, this is great. And you know what? We're seeing All Might in his heyday, like in a more everyday situation. So I'm appreciating to see him in his, like, not in his prime, but like he's still doing things.
His come up.
Absolutely. And And I love Knuckle Duster. He's a menace to
I was
society.
gonna say, you apparently must love Knuckle Duster.
He's
it's
a
everything
menace to
you want,
society.
apparently.
He's everything. He's just, and you know what? I love it because he's like, I'm gonna take out the trash, but then he's also like, hey, thank God for trash because it has saved us a lot.
This is gonna be a running joke or running theme. Apparently, the trash pile
because it is forever there. Yeah, I'm loving this show. I'm loving this show. I'm like concerned that Knuckle Duster doesn't have a home because we're all at Koichi's house. Apparently,
you call this a house?
That's where he lives.
Okay.
His home is now
his residence.
His residence is now the layout. Is like the hideout, which is crazy. We
How
got
you feel about Pop Step?
I appreciate Pop Step because she's just like, we need to be smarter about this. I'm also hoping, like, you know what Koichi said. He said, "Hey, I hope the cops don't show up for this like illegal concert." I said 100%. And she's still out here. Like, her fan base is growing.
It is.
It really is.
Is that the same detective?
Yes.
I can't stand this detective.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
So now we're seeing more. That's what I'm talking about. Recurring people. The cat detectives, they're all here. The main
cat
three.
detective is here.
I didn't realize our residence had a doorbell. I was like, this is new because he rung it and he was like, who's at the door? I said, did they put a doorbell into his house? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm enjoying this show. I like it. I want to see where this goes. I do wonder about that drug trigger. I wonder which organization it's tied to from the main series.
What if it's not tied to any of them?
I think it is because I think it's either tied to
Oh, it seems like it'll be tied to that mafia like
It's either One for All. Wait, is it One for All? One for All for One. All for One is the one, right? He's the bad guy. I always get it confused with things.
Me, I always get it confused.
Okay, so the main
I don't
bad
think it's
guy,
tied to him.
Well, no, I think so because of how he.
No, who's the guy? Remember who was doing the quirk with taking away quirk?
I know with Eerie.
Yeah.
Immediately. And
I'm thinking it's tied to
I was like either him or the main villain because of like how he had so many of his people like with the. Spinner,
I guess I can also
because you know how with Spinner how he had his out of control thing, so that was like, is it tied to?
Could
that?
it also just be tied to the doctor?
Yes,
it could just be the doctor because of all his experiments he
true.
did.
It is a before time before he,
right.
Yes, that's a true statement.
So it could be him, and that was before him, and before they got together to form this evil alliance.
Well, no, I think they've always been together.
Like since birth.
Well, not since birth, but I think he's been there for a while. Because considering how old he was when he with what's it now? I can't remember his name. Todoroki.
Okay.
So I was just like, no, I think he's been around for a while. But no, I'm enjoying it. We're seeing like how people are like solving crime in day-to-day action, day-to-day things, and
now, it seems like there isn't. These people aren't getting paid. Like even though you're getting a license, this seems like he kind of had a statement about how people still got to work. They got to go to school.
Well, they brought that up in the main series too, because for example, with the number 7 here, the dragon, like she has a whole modeling agency,
right? So
like they are having to do different things outside of it.
It just seems like this is before there was a hero course. This is before.
I don't know if it's that long. I don't think so. I feel like it's only a few years before the main story. I only feel like it's a few years before the main story. I only say that because of how his outfit is literally the All Might costume toy thing.
It's just a hoodie.
I don't know, Justin. Listen. I'm telling you, I feel like it's only a few years before the main.
I also feel, in a few years things change because, like, I don't think there's agencies because Endeavor doesn't have an agency, or he wouldn't have been out there.
That's true too. Okay.
So I feel like
you feel like agencies came up that quickly.
I think they realize that there is as villains begun to rise up, there was more of a need to go ahead and put them down, and you got to pay. So that's what happened.
It's true. We got to see Eraser, so we got to see Aizawa, which was great.
Who determined Knuckle Duster is quirkless.
That's right. And I was like, see, he's handling business. So I'm just like, see, Midoriya, there's always a way. There's always a way. Okay?
He had a brick.
I love it.
He's just the greatest weapon ever.
He is. He's not gonna let anything stop him.
But somebody, listen, this show is just what you want because we are getting all these people with first of all, there's one dude who we end up fighting. How your court gonna be playtime? Like this dude.
That was crazy. Like at first he was like, that's weird. He got toys in his suitcase. And Knuckle Duster was like, nah, something's not right. And they're just like, it's not that weird. They have a fan base. And he's like, nah, it's that guy. And then we come to find out, he said, I dropped 3 times. I have to do it. And I was like, this is crazy.
Like, also this hero name, the Crawler, isn't growing on people. He should just stick the nice guy.
He should.
I mean, everyone knows him.
He said, oh my gosh, he's a nice guy. Those kids, I thought they were like grown men. They were middle schoolers.
Right.
He was like, what middle school you go to?
They are huge.
They were huge. And I was like, what? And they're also part of Pop Steps fan club.
Now they are.
Yes.
I also feel bad for T-Rio. I mean, first of all, he took the drug and became.
I thought he was a kid, and I don't think.
I don't know anymore.
I don't know. He was hanging out with those other middle schoolers. I don't know.
Can we address the elephant in the room?
Sure.
Okay. This man works at a convenience store.
Yeah.
3 street toughs come in.
Yes.
And they are assaulting him outside of the store. Where is the fellow coworker? Where is management? Where are the cops?
Where's the manager who deducted his pay for being late? I'm like, if you there all the time, where were you for this?
They took him from the premises and assaulted him.
It was crazy.
What is going on here?
I don't know.
I'm just that just rubbed me the wrong way. Where was the help?
That one girl with the eye patch.
I immediately didn't trust this.
I mean, I was shocked though because she's a fan of Pop Step, so I think Pop Step is gonna be the center to a lot of things because like.
I don't think she's a real fan of Pop.
She is a real fan of Pop. She knew exactly who she was. She said, oh my gosh. She said, is this your boyfriend? Is this a scoop? I gotta put it out into the world.
No.
Yes.
It's trickery.
It's not. But I love how she was with her friend. She said, hey guys, I got my part-time job. And then she's a part-time villain.
Right. She's using the bees. She know that these 3 be doing stuff.
At first, I was nervous. I said, oh my gosh, she's going to turn into a thing because I was like, they're going to get into her eye. But she was the one who spread the drama, the terror amongst
what
the town.
What kind of power is this that she can go ahead?
I don't know. She's Queen Bee.
Increase people's quirkiness. These people start growing out of control.
Well, no, I think what happened is like her thing is Queen Bee. And so, like, they have a little thing in them. So I think she's one of the dealers for Trigger. And so, like, she just made it so that hers were able to...
No, I'm thinking her ability is one of the sources or basis for Trigger.
I don't think so.
Because they're all in those little bees. But remember, I think Trigger has to be injected and have a black tongue. So when they arrested those 7 outbreak people, if they have a black tongue, then you're right. If they don't have a black tongue, then that just means part of her quirk is tied into Trigger, which would put me more on the basis that one guy organization did it because we found out part of Erie's quirk was a part of that needle. So that company or those people are accustomed to infusing quirks inside of medication to get results.
Okay, that's a thought. All right, we'll see. All I'm saying is I'm committed. There's a lot that's happening.
Right. All I know is they got separated from Tyrio, and he was walking down the alley with her because they friends.
Yes. So it's. I was like,
and it looks like we're gonna meet the stupid Clash Rep's brother.
Yeah, we are, and that's okay. But yeah, so I'm a fan of this show.
And we saw Blue Genius.
Because he's the greatest. Okay. I don't know.
We saw young Blue Genius. That's what I'm telling you. Yeah, it's been some years because he looked a lot younger and more smooth than he do currently.
Listen, I'm not Janae. I don't hate on Blue. That's Genius. Okay, I'm a fan. I stand for him all day, every day. Okay.
All right. That's insane.
Like, don't bring that over here. That's Janae's business.
All right. Well, so that's that.
All right.
So I guess we're at the second half mark?
Yeah, we're at the second half mark.
So I guess it's, well, you said it would be before. Oh, well, technically it's on me anyway. So I left my A-rank party to help my former students reach the dungeon depths.
Yep.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Core 2.
That's right. Zakard's the worst.
Who?
Zakard?
Is that his name?
Yeah, the one that has the gold hair and the gold earrings, and he's got all the fur on.
Oh, yeah, he is the worst.
He's the worst.
I just been calling him the leader of Full Bound.
You can if you want.
I thought you were saying, I'm going to jump. I thought they were naming the name of that prince. He's the worst.
Yes.
He's the worst.
He is.
The uncle's the worst. But basically, first of all,
Yuke was right. He was like, because he was like, so what if we're going to do that? Like, he's like, you can't even prove that she's actually a part of the family. And he was like, and I was like, it's crazy.
the uncle went back to this prince.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, what's the holdup? He said, we working on it. It's just that she's an adventurer. She hanging out with her friends. And he done said, just get me the rest of the girls too. I'll pay you 5 times the amount. This is like kidnapping. This is trafficking. All of these things. I'm like, these people are the worst.
And I think it's like, doesn't he understand why they're there? I was like, if you're the prince of this place, shouldn't you understand why these adventurers are here in your country at this time?
Not if you're self-absorbed, I guess.
I mean, because I'm like, they're doing this because of the dungeon that's here. I was like, why are we confused?
These idiots.
They're literally on a mission from the kingdom. So I'm so confused.
They're trying to enslave Clover. Like, I'm over this already.
I am too. Enough of the shenanigans.
Hopefully it ends as quick as the one situation with Rune.
I think it will.
Because if it drags out or it gets worse, I'm not going to be happy. Now, back to the dork from Full Bound. That's who I feel all of this information should be about the kingdom and stuff. Because to me, everything is being watched.
Everything.
You guys are having to stream only to that one tent, like it's not being licensed. So they all see it. The guild master see it. Mm-hmm. Why is it if he kidnapped her and is trying to attack us? Shouldn't his rank be demoted? Shouldn't he be relieved of duties? Like this is all being watched.
Listen, people who aren't good at what they do. This show is littered with lousy adventurers. Okay,
it just doesn't make sense.
Like Lucent had to put him in this place. He was like,
I like Lucent.
Lucent's great. Yeah, the other two parties are great. I'm just like,
I know. I'm glad they saw Logue. So I put it in what you had said because they were like, oh, so it ain't a group hallucination. And I was like, oh wow, they said that verbatim. Mm-hmm. We met Biblion, a book spirit. I was like, okay, is this about to be a training arc kind of thing? Because I just thought everyone was gonna get stronger.
No.
But it did not happen.
No, it did not.
I can't stand Full Bound.
Yeah,
they were like, we gonna be rich. I was like,
don't you understand what's happening right now? So I don't have much to say on these episodes right
now.
No,
yeah, that's it. That's all.
Just that they're the worst, and I knew that they were gonna come back for rain, and yeah, I was just like, it's fine.
Yo, they tried to attack us in public.
In broad daylight. I was like, they don't have any kind of class. I said,
and who are these people? Confused when we retaliated.
They were just like, how dare you? I was like, this is crazy. It's crazy. And I was like, oh, thank goodness that Marmar was actually got rid of all the records.
These next 3 episodes is going to be very crucial.
Oh, yeah.
On what happens with my viewing of our Left an 8-Ring Party. I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely, 100%. But good show. Keep it going. Apothecary Diaries. I'm going to just say it.
Okay.
I'm going to just say it. I'm just like, when is Lady Lin Shu gonna get rid of her awful ladies in waiting? Like, I'm tired of this.
Oh, I'm so tired of this.
I'm so tired. I was like, this is a running bit because I'm just like, and you know what?
It's not even a great bit.
It's not. And, I'm finally glad, the fact of, at first I thought she was using the public baths because they had, taken over the bath.
Sure.
But at least they had enough sense not to do that. But, I was like, this is getting out of hand.
At least they weren't, well, I guess they kind of were, because they're making the water too hot when she don't like hot water.
Which is crazy. I was like, just do what you ask. Because, she doesn't even ask them to do much. That's the crazy part. So I'm just waiting for them to be done with
it. Do you think Jinshi actually got rid of them?
No. Dang it. I don't think so. And I also don't like how he's handling stuff in a roundabout way. It's annoying. I'm
okay with it.
Well,
you
no.
Can't be too forward.
Well, I think in this situation, with everything that's happening and how they're blatantly being rude and consistently this whole time.
But without proof, that's why he wanted more evidence. Your words are one thing. When he was able to go ahead and put 2 and 2 together,
well, yeah, I don't know.
But I hear you.
I'm just saying we've seen too much stuff. We've seen too much stuff in the behind the scenes.
This is what I was curious about.
Okay.
I watched the intro.
Yeah.
I'm really confused about these kabuki masks, but that's fine.
It's fine.
I watched the outro.
Okay.
It looks like it's girl power now. We are going to be getting mad Shaolin and Shui time.
Yeah.
It looks like it's their world and we just live in it. With them 3. Yeah. And my thing is this.
It kind of has been.
First of all, how the second half of the season started. Mm-hmm. Shaolin needs a job. I was like, this is very mature.
This is real. She's like, hey, my term's coming up. It's time for me to And then she's like, hey, I'll show you where you can go to get connections, make connections. I was like, this is great.
Why can't we fire all the ladies in waiting and just hire those 2?
100%. 100%.
They're young. They can all communicate with her.
You know what? That might be what happened.
Shaolin also is from the rural side. She don't like hot baths. She'll draw that water real nice. It won't even be hot.
It won't even be an issue. It won't even be a problem.
I just don't understand. She need a job. She got horrible people hired there right now anyway. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's over.
And they treat the head lady in waiting awful too.
Because she was a former tester.
It's the head lady in waiting should be the one that's disciplining them.
Right.
Right.
And quite frankly, this is what I'm concerned about. When you have a former concubine, it's not like they stay in the house. They send them to the lower area.
Right.
So if the head lady in wait lost her job to the tester, why does she even still have a job in the
place?
Pavilion, the Diamond Pavilion anyway?
These are excellent questions.
So,
but we're learning more about Lady Linshu's backstory because I was like, oh my gosh. Anywho. So, yeah, I don't know why we just need to let go of her ladies in waiting. They're awful. But, question to you. So, the new unit, because we have new eunuchs now.
Right.
We have 30 of them.
Right.
And there's one that's really handsome, allegedly.
Right.
Don't they look like the girl who went missing?
That's what I kind of thought.
I was like, are they related or is it the same person? Because I wouldn't be surprised if she's playing the long game, if she's doing the long con, okay? But it's either he's related to her or it's her, and she's found herself back into the rear palace. So, I just gotta see. And, the plot thickens. Mao Mao's able to get her adopted father back in to be the one who handles the, to check on
the pregnancy.
The pregnancy to see if it's not a breech birth situation that's happening. I thought it was going to be a wonderful, I don't know why I thought it was going to be a sweet family reunion moment, but that's not their style anyway.
Right.
So I don't know why I was hoping that. I don't know.
I thought the ice was a setup.
Yes.
I was just like, oh no.
I was like, who would do this?
And then we found out it was not a setup.
Okay.
We were just not paying attention.
I was so mad. I was like, girl, why aren't you paying attention?
We're out of here.
But I get why
we're done.
I was like, absolutely. And even then she was like, this has nothing to do with you. And she's like, nah.
But I was ready. I was like, are we about to finally have interaction with this concubine? Because, yeah, she was like the only one I have no
connections with or any pull whatsoever.
It wasn't going to work out.
It was not. Mm-mm. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen or come of this next. I'm just enjoying Apothecary Diaries. It's a good show.
I mean, we made ice cream.
We did make ice cream. I will say the ice carrier, the ice bearer, he was a little too snappy for me.
Only in the beginning. Listen, that was his head as well.
He had some sass when he came to pick it up. He said, "Is it ready? Is this good enough?" I'm just like,
hey, he's got a deadline to meet. They could kill him.
He did. He was like, "You got an hour." I was like, "How are we?"
He's a former slave. He could listen. We don't know what he's going through.
That's true.
He's on thin ice.
All right, Justin. Bravo. Snap. All right. But yeah. And actually, I wonder if Jinchi would be successful in getting Mao Mao back. Because it doesn't seem like...
The back and forth was pretty intense.
It really was. And she was like, yeah, I'll let you borrow her. And he was like, no.
Return her.
He was like, you're returning her from when I lended her to you. And then I was like, man, this is getting a little rough. And
then those three sisters showed up. The three new ladies in wait.
Yeah, they were a little sus, but I think they were only... So now we know why they were staring at Mao. Mao was like, you're not even including our younger sister. I thought she was the same age as them. I really did. I thought they were triplets for some odd reason, because they looked that close.
Was that why they were staring at her?
Well, because...
I figure it's because of the stories that they heard around there, the way she dresses, the way she acts.
Well, that too.
All the and above.
But I think what brought the camel's back was like, if you're going on these misadventures... You need to take her too.
No, it was. I took it as the opposite.
Really?
She has an issue not liking the babe with all of them. So when and that's why she babes privately. After speaking to what's the head lady. So when they told her Mao told them what she does at the baths. That's when the other two smiled and said, "Oh, well, you could take her with you." And she's like, "What?" And that included her.
I suppose. I don't know. I took it as something totally different.
Apparently.
Yeah. All right. Who knows? Is she cool enough to join our gang? No. I don't think so.
No. I don't think she wants to.
No, she wants to. Like you said with the intro.
She wanted to tell her off. She's like, "I can't believe you're doing these things for your a lady, a high-ranking concubine that's not your mistress."
And she was like, "I'm doing it because she told me to go and be into eavesdrop. What are you talking about?"
So I don't think so.
No, I think she is, because like you said from the intro, it's those three's world, and we just
I'm not
living in
including
it.
her in it. It's Mao Mao, Shui Shui, and Shaolin.
That's what I'm talking about. I know. So of course she wants to be joined.
Oh,
because it's their world, and we just living in it. Okay.
Okay.
It's true. But we did get more information about Mao Mao's actual biological father, and how Jinchi was like the one rule in the palace is don't interact with this man.
Apparently they're about to eliminate him.
Yeah. It's getting wild. I was impressed with how quickly he was able to get those plans of the layout of the Diamond Pavilion.
Okay.
Because it was immediate. He was like, "I'll get it quickly." I was like, "I don't even think it was 5 minutes." Say what you want. You can brush it off, but I found that to be very impressive considering how large the estate is.
I guess I just brushed it off.
Clearly. Anyway, so that's Apothecary Diaries. Great show. If you're not watching, you need to be watching.
It's not good.
Good show. Alright, now it's time for the meat and potatoes. It's about time. We're finally back. The greatest show of all time. One Piece. Now...
Laban.
Yeah. 100%. Literally. That's... Yeah.
That's it.
So where we pick up... because there was a recap episode, and if you want, it's been a while, so I guess it makes sense why there was a recap. So I'm not mad at it.
What?
There was a recap episode before, to catch people back up on Egghead.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like, I get it. I see who it's for. But you know, the real action happens at episode 1123.
Okay, got it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The government sucks.
York's the worst. Always knew it was York.
I never knew this. Well, I mean, we knew at the end of where they cut off because she was holding a gun to the head of Egghead.
But I always knew it was her because
Right.
I was like, she's never doing nothing.
Because she's supposed to be sleeping.
Right, and I was like, because of that, since I was like, I don't know if it's because she's regretful or revengeful or whatever, but she's never been given any opportunities to do real work. And so if the other eggheads are out of the way, she's the main one. But I don't know if she can do anything.
I've never thought her.
I did. I was like, it has to be her.
That's fine.
Okay. Take us away.
The Navy, the 5 elders suck, is because this earthquake happens that shook the world.
The world over. The whole world.
Like, and it's their fault.
It is.
Because of that, when they destroyed that land, Lucia, even they sent some Navy people to go investigate. They're like, this is the closest we can get to it. It's just a big hole.
At first, because they didn't tell us that was a cause until afterwards, because my first thought was that, oh no, Shioshi caught news of what's been going on with the Straw Hats and like her power activated. That was my first thought.
Okay.
That was my first thought. Or
That's
I was one of my first thoughts. Or that Blackbeard was up to some shenanigans and like shook the world over. And I was like, he finally did it. I was like, is his match with Garp? It's like, is it about to go down and it shake the world? Perhaps. So that's why I was just like, it was one of those two. That was my first thought. And then we get the backstory that, because of what they did to Lucia and created that huge hole in the ocean and created an earthquake that, what was it, like a meter? Like the world, like, increased by a meter or something like that? The ocean
Yeah,
level
the ocean
rise?
levels, right.
Right.
All I know is they showed this one guy who lost his hat, and then he was like, it's too late. And then that wave came, and it got him. Like, not only did it get his hat, it got him too. And, yeah. Other than that, we got York on the phone.
Yep.
With the 5 elders trying to strike a deal.
Right. So sounding a little bit too confident and cocky.
And then at the end it was like, cool, we in agreement. Then come save me. And everybody's like, wait, what? And I love
that was pretty great. They're just like, what are you talking about?
The Navy, I love the regular Navy guys like, oh my God, he's as barbaric as they see.
But here's the thing. So now, I wrote it down. I was like, I wrote it down. Have mercy, jeez. No,
while you look for it,
because I was like, it was literally. Oh, is that in the next? Oh, it's in the next episode. No, did we basically go to one? No, we haven't gotten there. Okay, so it's 11/24.
Same difference. I mean, the only other thing I took from 23 was 100 battleships, 30,000 men. It's essentially stronger than a Buster Call. 9 admirals with Kizarin.
Yeah.
And
Vice admirals. Yes.
And the one thing that I took away from Saturn, they reported, and Saturn said they no longer have any use for Bonnie.
Yes, so that was
She's
my
just
note.
a girl.
Right. So my question. So that's the note that I was. Yes, I was like, so for how long has Bonnie been a pawn for? Like, how long have they been using Bonnie? Because now this would explain how she's escaped. To me, I think this would be that missing piece as to how she's been able to escape successfully from all those dire situations from Blackbeard. Because there should have been no way that she should have left Blackbeard.
No, you got to remember, Blackbeard offered her to the Navy.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying,
so
like,
turned her in.
But I'm just saying, still from that, like, he was able to do that because they're just like, she would be of use to them. Do you see what I'm saying? Instead of stealing her power.
I think she's no longer useful. The moment they got Kuma back.
Right.
So they were probably, because they probably figured Kuma could still get free or something. Because even up there, the Celestial Dragons and with these nobles riding them, he could do something.
He really could.
So they probably made a deal like, we will spare your daughter.
Okay. That's a thought.
I can see that being it. And
Well,
now that he's loose, they're like, we have no
Well, I don't
use
know
for
because everyone's been saying this whole time that Kuma should have lost his entire sense of self. So would they have been able to make that deal if he never had a sense of himself the whole time? Because that's something that they've been referring to throughout the past episodes.
I took that sense of self only because the more and more experimentation. But he clearly, and it's what they believe.
Yeah.
Because we clearly seen where he has a sense of self.
Yeah.
He came back to them, was getting healed at the rebellion, and then went back after the government. So,
okay. Questions I have at the end. I was like, why did I have this thought? I said, will she be the newest Straw Hat? I hope not.
I don't think so.
I hope, because we don't need another weak person. And then, lastly, does York truly know how to create the Mother Flame? Because I don't think she does.
Hey, maybe not.
And then lastly, now that we know that the laboratory that is able to create the Mother Flame is on Egghead, they're not going to destroy the island anymore.
Right.
So they can't. So now I'm just like, to some degree, the island is that there's like safe spaces. So now for 11/24, yay, the crew's all together. Let's get to work. Now now we know how bad of a man Morgan is. He's had a phone that's been able to tap lines for years. And that's how he's been able to get all the scoops.
Right.
He's been tapping lines. I was like, he's the greatest. I was like, this man is great. The whole time Vivi and that late Wapple's there, and Wapple's just being a hater, he said, of course, Luffy's doing some stuff again.
Wapple's still up to his old shit.
Absolutely. So I'm like, that's great. But in this episode, we learn from Saturn, and I wonder, I'm still confused as to why Saturn's with us. I wonder if Saturn's is he one of like the main lead, like one of the main voices of reason?
I think he's there to ensure nothing about the Void Century gets out. Because we're starting to see some type of humanity. One of the vice admirals, Saturn was like, what happened to all the scientists? Oh, well, they all escaped a day ago. What if they found something out? He says, sink them.
But we never see that.
No, he doesn't. No, but he tells them.
Yeah,
and then he also talks to him about, well, we got the information. The CP0 and all their men, they're being held captive. Eliminate them. And then he was like, this is a worst case scenario.
But then we learn from Saturn, like, here are the 3 things we must protect. Because now Saturn's like, these are the priorities, okay? In case you didn't understand. He said York's safety, Punk Records, because that's where their brain is, and the power plant to create the Mother Flame. So he was like, basically, forget CP0. Yeah. He's like, they don't, and I agree with him, because they don't ever get their job done anyway.
What's your stance on this?
Okay.
They somehow get information from Rob Lucci, and it's being passed on to all the ships. Mm-hmm. Even the Admiral is like, and they give it also to Saturn. Mm-hmm. Do we believe Rob Lucci has fed them accurate information or faulty information?
I feel like he's fed them accurate information.
How did he do?
I think it's his bird.
I didn't think.
Because here's the thing. I don't think animals count in terms of getting in and out of the barrier. Oh. Because think about it. The only thing that they're worried about is people coming in and out. But are they really going to make it so where like bugs, birds, random, like, wildlife aren't able to pass through the levels?
Chopper would have been able to escape.
Well, but this is just my thought as to why, of how it's able to do it as quickly and as fast as he was. So I'm just like, I thought because we did see that moment where the bird guy was like moving up freely, he left and all this other stuff.
That's true.
So I'm just like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the bird who did it.
And then we got to see some of the flashback of what happened.
Yes.
Robin saved Egghead
from York with the clutch. And I was like, okay, cool.
Absolutely. Because we did just randomly show up. I said, did I miss something? I said, it's okay if I did.
Here we are.
I said, I'm fine with us all glaring down York. I'm not mad at that.
And then there was one juicy nugget from 1124.
Okay.
One colossal nugget that has been brought up that about a place that we would never go to.
I never said that. I said that we would go to Elbath, but it would not be Usopp's arc. I don't know why you keep bringing it up. I don't know why you keep bringing it up. I know we're going to Elbath.
Right.
It's one of the places that we've been talking about forever and a half. But my issue with you and Janae for the longest time, I was like, you're like, hey, this Elbath is going to be the arc for Usopp. I said, no, it is not. This is not. Because we've seen this entire time with the progression of how his character has progressed. I was like, Elbath at the end is not going to be where, this is not going to be about Usopp.
Okay.
So we will go to Elbath.
Right.
But this also lets us know we still have some more time with the wonderful world of One Piece.
I mean, we knew that.
We knew that, but I'm just saying for the people and the masses. Because people are just like, oh no, Egghead, we're done. I'm just like, no, we're like at the midway point.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of people think that.
I don't know.
He had because then Oda say something like 6 more years or something.
I was like, yeah, we're like at the halfway point. I'm like, come on, people, let's keep it together. So yeah, I'm excited that we're going to Elbath. Because we've seen too many giants. You know, from Big Mom to like the people from, you know, who are part of our grand fleet. Sure. You know, I'm like, and even in the before times, I'm just like, no, we're going to go to Elbath. Because they're all coming from somewhere. Which is crazy that they all coming from Elbath, such a powerful place to traverse to the East Blue. That's wild to me. I would just stay in the grand, past the grand line. I would. Because they're weaker on the other side. I just feel like they are. But that's my personal opinion. So yes, we will go to Elbath. But it will not be about Usopp. And if it is about Usopp, I'll admit I was wrong.
Oh, okay.
I'll admit I was wrong. I will sing Usopp's praises, or I'll give him praises for 5 minutes. I'll do due diligence to try to find every good thing about Usopp, and I will say it.
Oh, okay.
If it is about Usopp.
Oh,
okay. If Elbath becomes Usopp's arc, sure, but I'm gonna be real upset because I'm like, there are many other people who should have an arc before Usopp.
Sounds like Frankie has a different voice actor.
He does. That was news that happened a couple months ago because the previous actor, he got sick, and he had something with his voice, and then he decided to retire. It was a whole ceremony. I watched it on YouTube. It was pretty great. He passed. Oh, wow. He gave him Frankie's underwear on stage. It was crazy.
He passed the torch.
He passed the torch. But I don't hate it because it kind of gives Frankie more of a youthful character vibe, and I think that checks out. So I'm okay with it. I think he's gonna do great. I did make note. I was like, that's right, Frankie's voice actor has changed, and he's gonna do great. Also, are there really countless sea beast weapons in this? I was just like, 'cause I keep seeing the same 5, so I don't know if there are countless ones. If so, they should all be out because we have over 100 ships surrounding the island. Right. So what are we doing with just 5? And then we also learned that Kizaru is a man of principles because Saturn was like, what's going on? And he was like, he said, it's made out of lasers. He said, aren't you made out of light?
Can't you get through?
I was just like, he's not wrong. He's like, he's making it make sense. He said you can take out.
This is why he's here.
Apparently.
No shenanigans. This is to make sure, just like Oha, the Void Century talk ain't gonna make it out of here. This is why he's there.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Fine. That makes sense. Okay. But he was making it be a real secret. But I'm like, okay. And why was his sausages so like crunchy? I don't know what that was about.
That's how he get down. I don't ask questions.
I did. I took note. Anyway.
And apparently I don't think he's human because he said you got to treat humans like insects.
See, this goes back to our one conversation about our theory about whether or not they've traded their immortality. Their humanity for immortality. So who knows? All right, so that's all I have for 1124. 1125. Always asking why Saturn's with us, but you already brought it up to it. you already brought it up.
That's a waste of notes.
No, I mean, hey, you laid it out flat and plain. So I was like, that's it. But I'm down for this fight. Sentomaru versus Kizaru, so nephew versus uncle.
Right.
We got some vice admirals. I'm like, show us what you got. I was like, are we gonna see some 1v1s? Potentially.
There's enough of them.
There's enough. That's what. And I was like, the one who had the dog collar on, she was like throwing down with some kicks. I was like, is this who Sanji's gonna go up against? I was like,
well, I figured they might do something ridiculous like this because she's a lady. He might be taking. I'm trying to remember. Isn't she one of the ones from Sword?
Same, 100%. I was just like, what's gonna happen? Because you know what? We've already had a couple of people who've showing us that they're like, you know,
they can do their own thing.
Who are like triple agents, because we got Stussy. You know, she did a couple of different things. She was with Morgan and them, like running the underworld. Then we find out she was CP0, and now we find out that she was actually working with Egghead the whole time. So I wouldn't be surprised. A sidebar: how long are we gonna keep having these weak Navy soldiers on board? Because like they're constantly just like, I feel like the bar
Saturn's already told us they're insects. They keep reproducing, they're just going to keep.
What he did, you know what?
They're just going to keep giving us more.
You know what? You're right. Apparently, Saturn just has all the answers. My bad. Chopper needs to calm down. York's not this powerful and intelligent where it's taking 3 of them to crack this code. I feel like it's not that deep, but who knows?
It is that deep.
Apparently,
it's so basic, but they're all 3 intelligent. They're missing it. I wouldn't be surprised if Luffy come in and just know the code. It might be like food.
Something. So Centaur Maru has always been committed to sumo. We learned more of his backstory.
We did.
He was just like, my village was weak, so I left. And he was like, so you got kicked out. I said, how does kid get kicked out? And how did he get here? I was like, what's going on? So yeah, and I'm just like, cool, we're seeing more of Kizaru. I always liked him out of all the admirals. Because I thought he was cool, he was chill, he was like, yo.
Nonchalant.
Right, he was like, it's like, I love how he was like, hey, it's lunchtime before we go to Egghead. He was like, let me finish eating first. Like,
priorities.
Right, and he's just like, what's taking out so long? He said, let me finish eating. Like, let's
Even when he showed up at Acro Shopping.
Like, right, he's like, let's keep it classy. Come on, guys. So yeah, I love that. But I don't know why they thought that he would win in a match against Kizaru. I don't know why. Not sure where that logic was coming from. Right. I was like, don't y'all know who this man is? He is literally light.
Hey, he's got that ultimate defense.
He really do.
He thought he had a chance.
I suppose. So tired of Rob because he the worst.
He's a sore loser.
He really is. He was just like, he said, with me and Kizaru, there's nothing, like, y'all defeated. I was like, it's not you and Kizaru. They've already let y'all go. You don't even realize that you've already been, like, sacrificed.
Yeah, that's how I'm like, yeah, this.
But then I was like, Zoro's about to take him out because I'm just like, Zoro's more than capable of taking him out.
I mean, we've argued this. Luffy shouldn't have to have used Gear 5.
We have argued. Yes, we have debated about this.
It was irrelevant.
It was.
It shouldn't even show them this.
Because like he didn't even get into Gear 5 when he first engaged with Kizaru. Like he went to Snake Man immediately. So I was like, wait a minute.
We didn't. Well, yeah, I didn't understand anything with the whole Rob Louis. We probably could have beat him without transforming. Like
100%. I agree.
Makes sense.
I agree. But I will say this.
Yeah, Zoro's gonna kill this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. Because he was like, "Don't underestimate us." I was like, 100%. Yeah, Zoro's tired and battened down, but he got enough to take you out.
Zoro could probably take him in Kaku. Like,
absolutely, he was like, "Don't y'all know they just got done defeating Kaido?" So
right,
because we know, okay,
right,
yeah. So last thought, that hat strap is something fierce. It's never coming off. It's never coming off. I'm always impressed every time.
That's fair.
11:26.
Oh no.
No, you holding off on that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
We went to 3.
Okay. I was just like, I'm just watching all of it. I was like, all right.
Oh wow, just went in.
Yeah, I did.
So yeah, you know, that's this week's. One Piece is back.
One Piece is
Everything
back.
is right in the world.
It's true.
Of anime.
You know what? I would agree. I think that's right, you know.
Well, I don't want to leave it at that when we have issues with eggs and stuff like that. So everything's right in the world of anime. Now that One Piece is back.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I was fine with the other statement. But yeah, all right. Yeah, so that's this week's episode. Kaizoku Uncharted. Yeah, spring's here. Is it full swing? What are you watching for spring? Let us know. We're still trimming the fat, so we'll see what happens. There might be some swaps out. I'm eyeing which watch, but we'll see. We will see. So yeah.